Time now is 9:21. He is the legendary broadcaster who became affectionately known as Whispering Bob Harris, the DJ who's been on the airwaves since 1970.
In an emotional message, the BBC Radio 2 presenter has announced that he is leaving the country show, telling his listeners it was one of the hardest decisions he's had to make.
The announcement comes just weeks after he revealed that his prostate cancer has spread to his spine.
I just want to reflect for a moment, if I may, because I'm thinking how amazing it is that my broadcasting career has spanned almost 56 years. Isn't that incredible?
Hello again and welcome to this week's Whistle Test with music tonight from Fanny, David Bowie, Rick Wakeman and John Prine.
I have to say I've loved every moment I've spent behind a microphone. It's where I belong, let's face it. And I'm very, very fortunate to have spent my entire working life doing something I love so much.
It's 3 minutes past 7, BBC Radio 2 on a Thursday evening between now and 8 o'clock. It's the music of Bob Harris Country.
David Bowie and Golden Years opening up this edition of Sounds of the 70s.
So, from the stage that brought you Vera Lynn, Bruce Forsyth and Val Doonican, this is Leonard Skinner.
I feel so blessed to have had your support across so many years. Your love and loyalty mean more to me than words can ever say.
I'm very pleased to say we can speak to Bob now. Morning to you, Bob.
Hello, Charlie. How are you?
Well, I'm all right, and that leads me nicely into my first slightly over-personal question about you, because people will be worried about your health. So, more importantly, how are you?
Well, I'm getting there. I'm going to have to go back into hospital for some more treatment very soon. I'm going to have a course of intravenous radiotherapy to keep the cancer at bay a little bit. So it's on the move, but we're still in charge, and that's the most important thing to say.
Well, thank you, and thanks for sharing that, because, I mean, it's kind of a weird thing to share your medical information with the nation, but that's because people care, and they kind of feel invested, because they've been through a lot with you over the years, musically, and leaving Radio 2 and sort of putting a lid on that can't have been easy for you.
No, I mean, I've loved it so much, not just at Radio 2, but, you know, with the BBC since I started in 1970. I'm a massive BBC loyalist. I love the corporation, big believer in Tim Davie and all the work that he was doing. And for Radio 2, genuinely, I mean, it's such a great family, Charlie. It really, really is. And so breaking away from your family is always a very hard decision. And I've particularly loved this last few years doing the country show, doing Sounds of the 70s. So I recognize that I'm stepping away from something absolutely huge. So it's a very big decision. But in the end, I thought to myself, I really sort of need to leave the programs on a high. And the final show that I did for Radio 2 was the program that celebrated my 80th birthday with Zoe Ball. And I love doing that program so much. And it now seems a fitting way to say goodbye.
Bob, morning. It's Naga. Good to have you. Good to have you with us on the programme. I always used to wonder, you know, you're called Whispering Bob. When did that first start? And when you kind of got that moniker, what did you kind of think about it?
It was when I first started on the old Grey Whistle Test. I'd been so used to doing radio, I never dreamed or had ambition to be on TV. TV came to me. And when I found myself in a big television studio, I felt slightly intimidated, I must be honest. And the very first show I did, there was a journalist in the studio watching me. And I was speaking quite quietly into the microphone. And he coined the phrase, Whispering Bob Harris. And it's stuck ever since.
And do you think you've ever played up to it?
No, I mean, I've always just tried to be myself.
That's the trick, isn't it? Because that's why you have that loyalty, particularly on radio, where people invite you into their homes at all parts of their homes, and they stop to listen to you. And if you can make them stop doing what they're doing, you know you've broken through. That is the trick. How did you manufacture it, or how did you realise that you had a gift for it, to get people to trust you, to have you in their homes?
I don't even know that I ever did in a way, Naga. I think it's just that advice, if young broadcasters, I've given a lot of advice to people over the years, and the central advice I always give everybody is just be yourself. And I think if you're being yourself, then you have a certain sort of personal integrity. And I think that's what people then begin to respond to, because they build up a trust. And somebody described me a little while ago as a trusted guide. And I love that description. I'm really honoured and flattered by that description.
Bob, you've been in and around amazingly talented people musically all your life. Is Bob Harris talented himself musically?
No. Oh, I wish, Charlie. I can just about pick out a tune on a piano. I've got a piano in the room just on the right of me here at home. And no, but other than that, my son Miles is able to pick up a guitar and just play it. I don't know how he does it. It's a gift.
Do you know, Bob, I know it's mischievous. I'm so tempted to say, as you're leaving your Radio 2 gig, to see you play your piano and see how good or whatever. You're going to say no, though, aren't you? You're not going to do it.
Well, it would involve picking the phone up, moving it over there, Charlie. It would be a bit of a logistical challenge, I think.
All right, well, let you get away with that one. If there was a moment, Bob, where you cherish most, I mean, and there's been loads over the years, somebody you met, someone who surprised you, what would that be?
Wow. Well, I'm going to actually say, I'm going to move away from my profession and say it's the support of my family. Honestly, my wife Trudy is here. She helped set up the camera this morning. I mean, her support of me over the years has just been absolutely incredible. It's the same with my entire family. And one of the things about being poorly lately and not being able to get out and about as much, my family has come to me and I've had time to spend with them. And it's been very, very precious time, among the most precious of my life, actually. So, I mean, it's amazing, isn't it, that illness brings a blessing this way, but it really has.
It's a very classy answer, if I may say, Bob. Very classy answer.
Lots of people will reflect on that. Bob, look, stay well, keep well, enjoy the family. And thank you so much for being with us on Breakfast. It's always a joy to talk to you.
And you too. Thanks, Charlie.
I suspect we'll speak to Bob again when we need his wisdom about the world of music. That's it for Breakfast this morning. Back tomorrow.